Today we're looking at this topic, multiplying and dividing indices. The other day I had you do an investigation where you looked at questions like this and discovered that when we have 8 to the 4 times 8 to the 5, all we actually need to do, when the base is the same, add the indice. So in this case, we can actually come up with a rule. And the rule says, if it's some number times another number, which is times the same number, all we need to do is add those two numbers at the top. So it becomes a to the m plus n. Now we didn't quite get to it, but we've seen it a little bit this morning. When you are doing division, we can just do m minus n. So what does that do? That makes these questions really quick. Because if I've got 8 to the 4 times 8 to the 5, what does that very quickly become? 8 to the, if I add the 4 and the 5, what do I get? 9. 9, good work. So that becomes 8 to the 9, because all I need to do is add the 4 and the 5. Well, let's have a look at it when it's a letter. D to the 3 times D to the 5, what does it become?
D to the 8.
D to the 8, good work. Now I've made a little bit different here. I've actually included a number before the term. Now, what you have to remember with this sort of question, I'll write it up here, alright, is 4m squared times 3m to the 6. Remember that we've actually taken the times out. So it's the same as 4 times m squared times 3 times m to the 6. And because it's times, we can reorganise it. So it actually becomes 4 times 3 times m squared times m to the 6. So, hopefully you can now see, what's 4 times 3? Someone said it, 12, good work. What's then m squared times m to the 6? Yeah, good. M to the 8. The numbers, don't get confused in with this. Just multiply those two numbers together. All right, that's times. What about divided by? Here's our rule. All we need to do is take away the top numbers. So what do we end up with?
8 to the power of 2.
Excellent. 8 to the power of 2. Similar when it comes to this question here. We can actually deal with the numbers first. So what is 20 divided by 5? What's 20 divided by 5? Yeah, someone's giving me the fingers of 4. And we've now dealt with those two numbers out the front. W to the power of 5 divided by W to the power of 2 would leave me with W to the power of
10.
5 minus 2 is 3. W to the power of 3. This next question is the same as this, just written differently. So I'm going to write it over here. So this is question 6. 8x cubed y to the power of 7 divided by, that's what it means when it's over, divided by 24x squared y. Now there's no number there. What does that mean should be there or could be there? Yeah, I'm seeing a figure. Just one figure, that's right. Because you can just put a 1 there. That's all it means. All right. When I've got a fraction like this, we can then cancel out, I suppose we call it. What goes into both 8 and 24? 4 does? There's a number higher again. 8 goes into both. How many times does 8 go into 8?
Once.
So that cancels out, becomes 1. How many times does it go into 24?
3.
Good. 3. Now, x cubed divided by x squared. What does our rule teach us when we have that? Minus. Alright? Now effectively, it's becoming 3 minus 2. I'm cancelling out all of that, and that just becomes 1. In the same way, y to the 7 minus divided by y to the 1, what does it become? Y to the
1.
6. Okay? So that becomes a 6 and that cancels out. Now I could show it to you over here. Let me just show you quickly. If I had x times x times x, and it's divided by, because that's the x cubed, x times x, effectively what I've done is I've cancelled out those ones, and I'm just left with x to the 1 on top. So my answer here would be x, y to the 6 all over 3. Because the x squared and the y to the power of 1 are cancelled out altogether. Okay? So that's how we get to that. You can use this to make these questions much quicker. But the key of course year 9 is you need to practice, practice, practice.